How beautiful is this before and after, where the after, beautiful shape, right? And before, you don't see any eyebrows. Well, there is a little bit here and there. She has some hairs. I'm going to show you how to bring out some of the hairs you might not think you have. So you want to stick around and I will show you how to do that. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert, and I hope to be your brow expert if I'm not already. Please click that subscribe button, and I hope that you can get some tips today. And if you visit my main channel, you will see a lot of the brow tips. Maybe some of it will look like your eyebrows, or you know someone that has that particular eyebrow. Definitely share this with them. Today is going to be all about bringing out some brow hairs that you might not think you have. I don't have any brow hair. I was born with very little. So I went into the brow tattooing world. I do have some videos addressing the pros and cons and what to look out for and who to look for when you're looking for a tattoo artist around your neighborhood. So because I only live in Los Angeles, I only know the artist here. So that's why those videos are important, because it helps you to find or look to know what to look for when you're looking for an artist that's going to permanently tattoo your eyebrows. And you know what? That may not even be for you, which is why you need to watch it. So without further ado, let's get into this eyebrow. Okay, so let's get into this no brow to full natural looking eyebrows. Now, there are going to be a few things that I'm going to be using. I don't expect you to do all of them, but I do want you to pick up a few tips that I will be giving you, or I think it's very, very important. So these areas that I'm pointing out, I just want you to see that some of us will have, whether it's freckles or age spots around the eyebrows, like this client. And the reason I point that out is it gives off a different kind of arch or thin or full look because of that darker shadow. Try not to focus so much on that, like almost pretend that it's not there. But again, the reason I point this out is that if you don't have it already, you might. And, you know, one side is always going to be a little bit lower than the other. And the one with the one little mark, her brow, that side is much lower. So keep that in mind too. That's why we all have uneven eyebrows. Now, here's something that I want you to pick up, or at least try to, if you do shape or tweeze just a few hairs on your own. Go around with the highlighter first. I like this highlighter. There's a few highlighters that I use. This one is a really good one to use. This one's called a matte shell. I like to go above and below the brow line, so that way you can tweeze very little. This is the time to where I feel like it's a great way to shape your eyebrows. Now, so many of us just freehand it, which is why I think we get it too round underneath and take too much out because we want to enhance the arch. This really helps prevent you from tweezing too much and taking off just enough to where you think is beneficial. This is something that I recommend professionals that are just learning to tweeze other people's eyebrows, or you've been in the game for a while and I don't know, you might be running out of a few tricks here and there to get them a little fuller. It's trickier to get the brows clean but full than it is to shape the brows thin. It just is. I mean, let's face it, we've all been there with thin looking eyebrows. So that is the time to just tweeze here and there. This tweezer is by Anastasiabeverlyhills. I use this tweezer all day, every day for over 25 years, and I can confidently tell you this is one of the best tweezers. It's not about sharpness here. It's about how well it clamps. So if you guys have tweezers where you go and get it sharpened, I don't recommend that because the end can be a little too sharp. You could end up poking your skin and cut your hair. That's not what you want to do. So keep that in mind. Okay, so once the brows have been nicely shaped, I did sharpen the highlighter again with this sharpener. And if you have the Anastasia sharpener, there are 3 sizes, the small one, the large one, and there's a little cap here that you remove. It kind of helps protect the inside, and just press lightly. You guys don't want to press really hard, okay? So you just want a little sharpen. Okay, so I blew up the photograph so that way you can, the video that is, that way you can see the hairs. Can you see those little strands of hair when you have the fuzz waxed off, which is why you want to go somewhere good, as good as possible, and just wax around it. Also, you could tell the person, you can put some sort of concealer highlighter around the eyebrows and just wax over those highlighted areas. But if you apply this over and then you apply this under, you really see your eyebrows, right? And you know what? Also, I'm not going to blend it too much. Let it glide, because your brow bone will let you know, believe it or not, underneath as well. So if you just hold it lightly and press lightly, just glide over it. I'm going to be using the Perfect Brow Pencil. This is a traditional pencil. Traditional, what I mean is I'm using the pencil sharpener. And again, don't press too hard, just a little bit. You know, the new ones are much sharper as you're using them. It gets a little shorter. But I like this pencil because it has that rounded tip, and there's a generous amount of pencil here as well at the tip as well. So I froze this side because I want you to look how I'm going to be using the pencil. Now, if you have this kind of pencil, which I do like, because you can do so much with this, it applies the color very lightly. And so if you're heavy-handed, this is more forgiving, much easier to work with. So you notice that I'm holding the pencil, the tip, right over her eyebrows. So this is what you want to do. See this? You're holding it this way. Try it this way if you haven't already. If you're right-handed, you're doing the left eyebrow, you're holding it this way. Look where my thumb is. It's over the pencil. So get in a position where you're comfortable with. This allows you to get the tip right at the edge of that highlighter down below here, and it prevents you from pressing too hard. And the middle of that pencil goes inside the middle of the eyebrow. So there's some coating going on without you having to press really heavy. So look at this, right at the edge of that highlighter, at the edge of the pencil, I'm applying medium to light pressure. Now at the top, this is where you want to go, right at the edge, at the top area. Again, see that the pencil is laying down. The middle of the pencil is at the middle of the eyebrow, and the tip of the pencil is right at the edge of the brow hair and the highlighter. If you don't see your brows, don't worry about that. Just put it right at the edge of that highlighter, like so. Just like this. Again, it's laying down, it's not head on. So it's laying down right at the edge of the highlighter. Up at the front, the pressure is so light. I can't stress that enough, because you don't want the front to be so dark, but you get enough color, which is why I love the Perfect Pencil. It gives you that powdery light application. Now, up at the front, remember we did the edge, and then we did the edge here. Edge, and then edge here. So when you're doing the left side, it's all about the thumb too, so keep that in mind. Right here, I'm holding it, laying down. Everything's laying down. If you guys don't know me already, you know, if you guys don't know me by now, it's all about laying down. So right here, so notice that I'm just brushing the pencil up. This allows the hairs to come through. Now, she did have a lot more hair than you might have thought because it's so light. The pencil is actually making the hair darker. As I get towards the middle to the end of the eyebrows, that's when I press a tiny bit harder just to get it a little bit darker. But this is what I want you to get from this video, is that the hairs get colored by the pencil as well. So, and powders can also do this. But I love the pencil because it's softer, it's much more forgiving, especially if you have drier skin. And so again, right here, I'm just doing this, laying the pencil this way. If I were to do this, look at the pencil. Hold the pencil in different ways, and see what's comfortable for you. But this prevents you from going too heavy. And right at the edge of the pencil, just go this way and see how far you can get in. And then towards the end, that's when you press harder. You press harder, harder, harder to get it a little bit darker. Okay, so the Tinted Brow Gel. This is an option. As you can see, you can see all the hairs now. But the reason why I'm using a Tinted Brow Gel is that it really helps to bring out the hairs more so. You know, if you don't want to do a pencil and you just want to do a Tinted Brow Gel, that's a good idea as well. You have that border of the highlighter, and then if you just do this and you go in reverse, because going in reverse catches the root and it prevents you again from going too dark, because you could easily get this too heavy and dark. So you just lightly coat, okay? So I always say okay, I don't know why. but just lightly go over this, and it just gives you that beautiful texture, right? You could see the hairs, and I promise you, by doing this, it'll stay on you all day. That's the beautiful part about this tinted brow gel. It'll just, you won't have to worry about the color coming off, basically, because when you have a pencil, it doesn't stay on as long, even if you're on the drier side. But if you're on the oily side, it really doesn't stay on very long, right? Okay, so beautiful, as you can see right here. Yes, I did do her other eyebrow for her, but you know, she looked at this eyebrow and thought, wow, I mean, it looks great. She loved it. It wasn't too red. That's the other thing. If you have salt and pepper hair, you have very light skin like her, you're tempted to just grab a red pencil. I actually use a taupe pencil. On me, it would be medium brown to, you can use medium brown to dark brown, but I think dark brown is a little too dark. Ebony would work if you have a salt and pepper hair, but she liked that she could use the highlighter. That's doable, and the tinted brow gel. So know what you can use and try that out. So what do you guys think? Did you pick up on some tips? Do you feel like you can do some of these things? Please let me know that you can. I didn't go over this as you were watching the model. Is the brush 18? I didn't, as you can see, blend it that well. So you can see that you can use your finger, which I often do. Obviously on a model, I'm going to use the brush, but a brush really does help hone in on how close you can get to the eyebrows. Obviously down here, you can still do your finger, but you can also use the brush. Okay, so either way, I mean, so many of us, like myself, can be in a hurry. I don't like to spend that much time in doing my makeup, so I tend to use my fingers a lot. Don't be intimidated by the tinted brow gel, because it really is for everyone. I mean, if you have thick, dark brows, obviously you don't really need it as much. But if your brows are graying, there's a few grays here and there, and it's in the spot that you need the hair. That's why this comes in handy. But the most important thing are these three things, right? The tinted brow gel, which I encourage everyone to get started using. The perfect brow pencil, which has a great spoolie brush on the other end. So it's a great way to tone anything down. If you use a tinted brow gel, you can use this to tone it down if it gets too clumpy and dark. And the highlighter. So, you know, the power of three is really, really powerful. If you're not sure how to get started, definitely get these three. Try it out. Let me know if it has helped you guys. And I hope that these videos have helped you. I hope that you're passing this along to people that you know can use this help. Because let's face it, we all know people. We all know people that can use brow help. And so thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next week.